I feel like people need to vet each other out. People need to be honest about what they're looking for and where they're trying to go with whatever they find and things like that. But as for this video, I'm gonna be giving you 5 signs that you're just not ready to be dating. Like, don't be out here trying to date if these apply to you. Anyways, let's just get into it. So the first one is that if weren't right now, somebody was to ask you, like, what are you looking for? And your answer is, oh, I don't know, or to just chill or kick it. This is one thing, this is the one that really irritates me. Oh, just chill and kick it with somebody and just see where it goes. If that is your response, do not enter the dating scene to date. Don't do that. If you are somebody that's looking for a serious relationship right now, do not enter a relationship with somebody that tells you, I'm just looking for something casual and then I'll see where it goes. Or if I find somebody, I find somebody. Do not do that. And I'll tell you why. Okay, let me tell you how I transitioned, right? So in the beginning, when I was starting to date guys or, wanting to see guys and stuff like that, it would be, I knew exactly what I wanted. I knew I didn't want to be in a relationship. I don't want to be tied down. Like, after talking to a couple of guys just casually, I came to the conclusion, very, very young, mind you, that I didn't want to be in a relationship. And then me also, it's not even the guys out here, it was just me personally. I knew that mentally I did not want a boyfriend. I was clubbing heavy around those times. And when you go to clubs, guys hit on you. One night at the club, I will leave with at least giving 3 guys my number. And this is just me being completely honest. That was my lifestyle. So there was a lot of drinking, partying, all of that, right? So I knew that I didn't want to be in a relationship. I love the attention. I love juggling. I might sound a little bit, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, I'll be juggling more than one guy at the same time. So obviously, I know that I don't want to be in a relationship, because being in a relationship with one person would mean that all of my attention for this one person, meaning that I would have to drop everybody on my roster, meaning that I can't flirt or allow other people to flirt with me. But yeah, so knowing that I don't want to stop that, I'm not going to start talking to somebody and be like, oh, I'm looking for a relationship or I'm looking for something casual right now, and then see where it goes later on if I feel like we vibe or if things. No, be honest with yourself so that it's not like you lead her into this false reality where she thinks you guys are in a relationship or about to get into a relationship, but you know that you guys are not. And then now you're calling her crazy, but you're the one that fed it to her. Guys will put women in this position, and then it's just like they'll have women just driving themselves crazy, where it's just like, okay, well, he's saying that he likes me and that we're together and stuff like that, but he's acting like we're not. Or he's saying that we're not together, or saying that like we're just chilling. You ask him, like, what are we? And he's just like, we're vibing, like we're us. Like, what do you mean, what are we? But then he acts like we're in a relationship. Like, he acts like, he's caring, he's always doing all of this, but then he's telling me something else, right? He's saying everything, but we're in a relationship. So it's like, it's all of this crazy stuff in your head, and it's just like, why are you playing these games? Just be upfront about everything. If you are not intentionally looking for somebody to be with, you are just not ready for a relationship, because to kick it with somebody and then see where it goes, or you enter that kick it with somebody relationship, you are going into it as a casual thing. Like, it starts off casual, and then if you feel like, this person is really great, then you get into a relationship. If you're not intentional about being in a relationship, and intentional means that you're going into it, your mindset going into the situation is, if he doesn't check all my boxes, if he's not the one for me, I'm walking out. So going into the relationship, you're already looking, you're intentionally doing everything, right? As opposed to just kicking it with this person, just chilling, and then, it's just like, my last video, if you have not watched it, please go watch it. I was saying that the talking stage is necessary, because if you are intentional about dating, you're trying to figure out who this person is. Does he cross your boundaries? Is he the one? Any red flags? All of that. You're trying to vet this person out before you jump into a serious relationship. But that's only if you're intentional about everything. You are intentional, and the other person is intentional as well. You guys are both looking for something serious. But if your answer is, oh, I'm just trying to kick it with somebody and then see where it goes, you're not serious about being in a relationship. That means you're not intentional. That just means that maybe you're bored, or maybe you just want to vibe, or maybe you just want a sexual relationship. My thing is, I'm not saying that in order for you to be in a serious relationship, you have to go into it intentionally. There are situations that people have been in very great serious relationships where it wasn't even like they were looking for each other. They just kind of bumped into each other and it kind of happened. There are those situations, I understand. I'm just saying that if you are looking for something, if you meet somebody and your response is casual, and then if it gets great, it becomes great, then they don't know what they want right now. Because once you guys do get into a relationship, it kind of feels like you're a placeholder. Because if something better comes around, trust and believe there's a good chance that they'll just hop into that. You're asking the right questions. You're intentional. Like, I want to get to know you, right? And then he's kind of just like chilling. Like, he's chilling because he's not trying to get to know you. He's just trying to see your vibe. And then if it's great, it's great, right? Even if he does put effort into getting to know you, he's probably going to ask you the right questions because for conversation's sake. So maybe like the conversation is really good. The conversation you guys are having right now is really, really good, but he's not really taking it in. Like, he's just, it's a great conversation for him. So he might seem passionate and he might be in the moment at that time, but that's just because it's a vibe. It's a great conversation. While you're making notes, everything is being like noted in your head, like, okay, he's doing this good, he's doing that good. But him is just like, yo, like, I really, like, I've never had this type of conversation with anybody before. It's a great, like, an adrenaline, it's like a rush for him, right? And maybe he might remember it because he's never had this type of conversation with anybody. In those situations, I find that usually it's something that just blows over after a couple days. I don't really, I'm trying my best to put this one into words, and I feel like I'm not doing the best job. But I really, really hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. Basically, just steer away from somebody who's not intentionally looking to date if you are. So number two, you are not ready for dating if you are not financially stable, especially for a man, but for a woman as well. And I'm gonna tell you why. And financial stability looks different for everybody. As long as you're not financially struggling, I feel like you should be all right. If you can take care of yourself with a little bit left over, you should be all right if you want to hop into the dating pool. But if you're struggling taking care of yourself, and I feel like that's most of us in today's economy, that's no problem. I'm not downing or shaming anybody, but I'm just saying do not think about getting into a relationship. I feel like most times when we're in these positions, we think of like, oh well, maybe we need a second person to add to our finances to help us. It doesn't really like, it doesn't change anything. If you're not financially stable, you're not ready for a relationship. From a man's point of view, you're the one that's going to be, or at least I'm assuming, I'm hoping, you're the one that's going to be doing most of the payments. You're the one that's going to be laying most of the money down. So if you are not financially stable or okay, I would not recommend dating, because that's when that whole notion of like women are always using men for money. She didn't want to go 50-50. She shouldn't have to go 50-50. You're the man, be the man. Pay for the food, pay for the first date, pay for the second date. You're the man. If you ask her out on a date, you pay for the date. Don't go 50-50. And I mean, everybody's different. Some women want to go 50-50, that's fine. But if you're a man and do not go 50-50 with her, because when you go 50-50 with her, the thing that it tells her that you guys are equals. And technically, you guys are, but in different ways. You guys are equals in different ways. Equals is in like, if there's a decision need to be made, you're making that decision, but you're bringing it to the woman to get her opinion. You're bringing it to the woman to see if she's okay with it before you make that decision. But ultimately, it's up to you because you're the man. So you guys are equals in that way, as in that there's a respect there, but you guys are not equal in the way that like everything that he does, she does. Like, it doesn't work that way. Me personally, when I go out, like after the first two dates, or sometimes just randomly, like I'll pay for stuff because it's not that big a deal. I'm not asking you to pay, or I'm not expecting you to pay for stuff because I cannot. I would just like you to pay for stuff because it makes me feel, it puts me in my feminine energy. Like, hopefully it puts you in your masculine, but it definitely puts me in my feminine energy. I want something, I get it, and I don't have to pay nothing. Like, I feel like I'm taken care of, and hopefully it puts you in your masculine energy, like you can take care of business. We already understand why men need to be financially stable, but women also need to be financially stable before entering relationships. Let me tell you, right? So I've been working for a very, very long time, right? So like money is always coming in basically. So I can spend willy nilly, like I can spend no problem. And so when I lost my job, it was one of those where I still had money, but in my mind, it was like I had to go into saving mode. Like I cannot use any of the money that I have because money is not coming in. Not unless I got a next job, right? So money's not coming in like it used to. So I'm in like saving mode. So I don't want to touch my money. I don't want to nothing. Like unless it's an emergency, I don't want to touch nothing. So before, where it was just like I would gladly, no problem, just pay for something really quick. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like before it wouldn't be a big deal for me. But now it's like, why don't you do that? Like, it's kind of just one of those where it's like, okay, it's like, okay, like, if I have to take care of it myself, and like, okay. Like, that's literally my reaction. I don't know how to explain it besides rolling my eyes. Like, that's literally it. Like, all right, whatever. That's literally how I feel about it. So, I feel like as a woman, it puts you in a compromising position because it's like you expect so much, even though you should expect much from a guy, but it's just like you start to become dependent on a man, if that makes sense. Because me, I've always been a very independent woman. I never get too overly excited. I'm very, very appreciative, but not too overly excited because honestly and truly, anything a man can do for me, I can do for myself. Um, but I don't go into relationships thinking that. I'm just saying, like, it's really just a fact. If you could do it for me, I could do it for myself. And if I can't, then I'll work towards that because I don't want to ever feel like, and this might not be the best thing. I'm just sharing with you guys about me. I don't want to ever feel like a guy has so much power over me. I mean, hopefully in the future, when I'm very safe with my husband, like I allow myself to just break those walls completely. But as of right now, I just don't want to ever give a man that much power to the point where he feels like, or I feel like he's doing so much for me that, like, if I was to lose him today, I would just be completely broken or at a different level. You become so accustomed to a lifestyle, like they've given you everything, this specific lifestyle. So from where when they leave you, you're just down here. And once you leave, I'm a nobody. I am shattered. I'm completely broken. I'm back to square one. If you're not financially stable, you allow a man to take advantage of you financially. It feels like you're basically selling yourself for money. That's what it feels like. You might not realize because he is so in love with you right now. The first 2 years, everything is great. He is in love with you. He's showering you with all of this money, but you don't add much to his lifestyle besides like something to look at, besides factuation. So eventually, when all of this money attracts other women and now he has options, he's gonna do what he has to do, and you're gonna have to, there's nothing you can do but accept it because you love this new lifestyle that you've been accustomed to. So you won't leave him, he'll leave you, and then now you're bitter and now you're upset. For number three, you don't love or appreciate yourself enough. And I always, always, always say this one is probably something that I've said in all of my videos. You have to love yourself first before you allow anybody else into your life, especially. If you don't love yourself, you give other people opportunities to just use you, to walk all over you, to tell you who you are. You need to appreciate yourself. If you are at that point in your life where you feel like you hate yourself, it should be something that you can change. So maybe you're morbidly obese right now and it's just like, I hate myself. Maybe you're just disappointed with yourself, but you think you hate yourself. If that is your case, then that is something that you need to change. But for a really long time, like I hated my teeth. Like I feel like, because I have gaps in my teeth and I really hated my teeth, but I had to become accustomed to it. Now I love my teeth. If I can get braces, I will, but like I'm not in a rush. I hated talking, I hated smiling, I hated showing my teeth in any type of way before, but I got used to it. I got accustomed to it. I looked in the mirror and I was just like, what is it about myself that I just hate, right? So over here, gaps in teeth, like teeth, what? It's not look as attractive. It's not conventionally pretty. But back home in Africa, especially West Africa, having gaps in your teeth is a good thing. It's very attractive. It's seen as beautiful, and that's where I'm from. So I'm probably like the prettiest girl there. So, period. I feel like you should just learn to accept it because there's something about everybody that's different. If you don't love yourself, do not enter the dating pool because people will use that against you. You will not know what you're looking for. You will not know what a good thing looks like because you hate yourself. You'll get into a lot of relationships that are not good for you, that people hate you, that are just not healthy. If you love yourself, you know what you're looking for. You want somebody to love you just as much as you love yourself. You know what love looks like because you've given that to yourself. Yeah, our parents might love us, our siblings might love us, that's cool and everything, but you'll never know what loving you feels like unless you love yourself. Loving you like you love yourself, it makes sense. You're just like, oh, like you treat me the way how I would treat myself, but even better maybe. So now I know like you really F with me. Number four, if you see the negative or you see the worst in everything, do not enter the dating pool. If you've been in plenty of relationships and guys have broken your heart back to back to back, so now you think men are just the worst, but you're still out here looking for a relationship with a man, do not enter the dating pool. If you feel like every girl you dated has cheated on you, so girls just cheat and that's what you expect, do not enter the dating pool. All right. What you should do from these past experiences is make notes, is to pay attention, is to sit down, evaluate every situation, and just look for signs that you might have missed, and then just make a mental note so that when you see those signs in your next relationship, when you see those red flags in your next relationship, you can kind of be like, oh shoot, like this is the second or third red flag that I remember. So I feel like this might be the path that we're heading down. Like you might be heading down the I'm about to cheat on you route. Make those mental notes, but do not enter a relationship thinking that like, I mean, I know you're probably gonna cheat on me, but like, I guess, like, I mean, I want a girlfriend right now, so why not? That's not helping anybody because then what happens when she turns out to be the opposite of what you're expecting her to be? She's actually a great girl. She's a great woman. She is there for you emotionally. She's there for you mentally. She gives you the great advice. She's always in a great mood. She wants to go out of her way and do things for you. But for some reason, you always only see the negative. Why? Because you're expecting her to be negative. You're expecting her to be the worst. You're expecting her to eventually cheat on you. So it's like she's doing all of these good things for you because she's a great woman, but you're missing all of those signs because one, you've never seen those signs because every woman you've dated has done you dirty. So you're not open to those signs. You're not open to seeing that they're even good signs. He's probably going out of his way. He's probably wanting to spend time with me all the time now because he cheated. Or he's about to go cheat or something like that. That's how you're gonna see it as opposed to just seeing it as like this is the sweetest thing anybody's ever done for me. Like you're ready for the relationship to fall apart before it even starts. Like that's how you enter the relationship. Just don't. For my final point, if you have not been alone in a very, very long time, do not enter the dating scene. Do not look for a partner. Be single. Be on your own for a while. Get to know yourself all over again. Because if you've been from one relationship to the next within the last 5 years, last 4 to 5 years, you've been through three boyfriends from one relationship to the next to the next. Like you're just jumping from guy to guy. Do not get into another relationship. Be single. Get to know yourself because 5 years is a long time. Maybe even just 3 years. That's a really long time. You are probably a changed person and you don't know all of those past experiences. You need to sit with yourself and decipher. You need to go through your past relationships, what worked, what didn't work, what was a red flag, what was something good, what was a good experience, what was this, what was that, and get to know yourself as well. Like how have you been after those experiences and how have you been just in general? Like, your favorite color can change within 2 years. You become a different person. So just sit with yourself, get to know yourself, learn what you like, what you don't like. So yeah, those are just my 5 points. These are 5 signs. So you are just not ready for the dating pool. Do not enter and cause all of us distress. Okay. just stay far away. That's just that for this video. You guys, please comment, like, and subscribe. Please share this video with your friends if you can. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Later.